Welcome back, everyone. It's March, so you know what that means. We're gonna talk about February. February was a crazy month for me. I feel like I did so much, and so much happened. So this is gonna be a long video. I did not expect the shortest month of the year to probably end up being one of the longest videos I'm gonna make all year. And if you're new here, this is my series where I rank and review every month of the year. We did January. You can click a little icon somewhere, probably right here or something, and watch that. But yeah, this will be February. So let's run it. Let's get into some honorable mentions. These will be basically anything that I think it's too small of an experience, I guess, to be made to the fullest. So like things like singles, the earliest, those make into honorable mentions, or just like little things that I don't feel like I need to rank in the full list. Thank God I Don't Have a Drug Dealer by Conan. This song's beautiful. I listened to it. It was beautiful. I haven't listened to it really much since the beginning of February, so don't remember too many details. I remember walking away and being like, wow, holy shit, he did it. So shout out to Raleigh. Go listen to Thank God I Don't Have a Drug Dealer. Then the new Richie with a T singles, Richie Valens, and then I don't have the other one written down beside me, but the other one with Amine. I thought they're both great. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for his whole project. I think he announced the full project. Then we got Bussy Hole by Jose FM. I think that's how you say it. Jose FM. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but your song is amazing. I am obsessed with it. I saw it through an Instagram reel, and I know that lots of people were shitting on the song. I think that's bullshit. It's amazing. And yeah, it's funny, but that's why it's amazing. I don't know. People sometimes, I think, hear something. Oh shit. I think sometimes people hear something funny and they're like, oh, this is bad. This shit's not deep enough for me. This Bussy Hole song is not touching my soul. Oh, it's so bad. No, this shit's heat. This shit's gas. This shit's amazing. Everyone go listen to Bussy Hole right now. It's so good. Popping my pussy, yeah, I want all the house to know. I'm taking off my clothes. Is that my booty hole? Magic. I don't know if I've heard a better chorus in my life. I'm going to be genuinely honest. It's one of my... I've been singing it the entire month of February. That one's a big honorable mention. Then we got Tell Me Summit, the new Justin Hughes single. I think Justin is cooking so much right now. It's insane. I'm so excited to see what Justin does. This song I didn't love as much as the one last month, but the last month is my favorite song of the year so far. So no one else has beat it, so I'm not shocked that Justin also did not beat that song for me. And the Anderson .Paak and Free Nationals and A$AP Rocky, the new single Gangsta, is amazing. Holy shit. It's so good. I've listened to it quite a bit. It's great. I haven't heard enough people talk about it, to be honest. I'm like, this shit's amazing. And I have not really seen many people talk about it. It's crazy. It's great. So I would recommend listening to that. That one's great. But that's enough honorable mentions. Let's get into the list. Number 29, Vultures 1 by Ye and Ty Dolla $ign. I will say, I know Kanye fans are going to come from my ass on this shit because they're going to say, separate the art from the artist. We're going to get into this. First off, before we even get started, this album, just as a piece of music, is embarrassing enough that you should stop being a fan of him. He doesn't even have to be a Nazi, and this is bad enough for you to stop being a fan of him. Like, come on. This guy he doesn't actually know you or care about you. You don't need to ride this hard for him. You can admit when he drops something that's shit. Like, it's fine. It happens to the best of us. You know, like, you can listen to an artist and really like what they're doing. You don't have to support them forever. You know, this album's shit. I'm sorry. Especially Kanye is the worst part of it. He is the worst part of this album. The worst part of this album is every Kanye verse. The only real part I like from Kanye in the entire album is the big beautiful big titty bitch don't follow the sky, you know. That part's the only good part by Kanye. That's the only part I like by Kanye. Ty Dolla $ign's not horrible in the album. I think the production is boring, uninteresting. In the Carnival song, I like Playboi Carti's verse, but I didn't love it enough that it was like saving that song. I think the chorus is obnoxious. I think it's just so like, I mean, I don't really understand what riding the dick like a carnival even necessarily means. Do they mean a carousel? That part, like you're riding like the whole carnival, like food stands and all. I think it's an embarrassing album. I think it is. It sounds like shit. The performances are shit. It sounds rushed together. It has horrible arrangement. It's bad. It's easily the worst piece of music I heard this month. Easily. It's not close. And that's if you take out all the Nazi shit. Now let's add the Nazi shit in there. big shocker, it makes it worse. Also, you cannot separate the art from the artist. Point: if the artist does not want to separate themselves from their art, Kanye has no desire to separate himself and his own personal beliefs and who he is from his art. That is what has made Kanye good in the past, and that is what is currently making him bad. The idea of separating the art from the artist, especially someone like Kanye, is insane. His art has always been so directly tied into who he is, and that's why his music sounds like shit now. That's why it's so fucking hard to listen to and so embarrassing. But at least he got rid of the Nazi parody album cover, so shout out to Kanye for that. And I guess he gave an apology, so good on him, I guess. But yeah, he's at the bottom. And at number 28, I got Thor. I mentioned in the last video that me and my girlfriend were watching through a lot of superhero shit, because now she's like took the comic book class and she's getting into this shit. So she's been interested because she's never really, like, she's avoided it her entire life. So she's been interested in it. So we watched Thor. Thor is fucking boring. I'm not gonna fucking kid you. I have enough self-respect to recognize that this shit's boring. I like Marvel shit. I've always liked it. I liked Thor when it came out, sort of, but it was definitely my least favorite of like the first phase of all that shit. And watching it now, I was like, this shit's snooze fest. Holy shit. It's like very uninteresting, I thought, watching the first Thor movie back. I still like it better than the second Thor movie, so shout out to that, but I don't really like this Thor. I don't really like Thor, this movie specifically. I like Thor Love and Thunder more than the first Thor, and that might have some people come for my ass. We're just gonna start off this video with me potentially making a bunch of people mad. That's fun. But the first Thor movie is just snooze fest. Number 27. Some of the most intense anxiety I've ever felt. Yes, this beats out both Kanye and Thor. This beats out both of them. My anxiety, it sucked. But at least it made me fucking feel something. That's all I have to say. This made me fucking feel something. I'd rather experience that anxiety than be forced to watch Thor or listen to Vultures ever again. 100%. Number 26. The Watchmen movie. We will get into the comic book later, but I will specifically talk about the movie here. The movie is pretty far down the list. I had watched it before, but in my girlfriend's comic book class, she was reading Watchmen, and I've always wanted to read Watchmen, so I was like, okay, well, I'll read Watchmen because I haven't read it before. I'll get into my feelings on the comic book later. Obviously, I think it's better than the movie. We can establish that already. I think the movie feels like it's just copying what happens in the book, but not why things are happening in the book. You know, like, it very much feels like they read the book, but I don't know if people making it understood the book, because it just, every little change they make makes the story worse. The characters are supposed to be these badass, edgy, like, anti-heroes, but in the comic book they're like fucking goofy. Like, they are a joke. They are embarrassing. The Night Owl guy, embarrassing. Rorschach, embarrassing. A guy with mommy issues who just is taking up this role of having to clean the streets and clean everything, but he's just looking for excuses to take out all of his anger and shit. Like, he is not, like, in the movie, it feels like he is supposed to be the good guy in the movie. Like, it feels like he is supposed to be, like, he's the one to root for. And they also took out some of my favorite stuff from the comic book, which was like I really liked all the stuff with Rorschach's therapist as well, and like his need to help people. That was very interesting. I know there's a version with the comic book and stuff like that, but I just watching it, it felt like I was like, oh, they copied so much of this from the book, but just the feeling I got from watching it versus reading it, very different. The feeling is so different. Also, some of the craziest song choices ever. The Hallelujah sex scene is insane. It's insane and so long. It's such a long sex scene. And like, that sex scene, when I was reading it, like, it feels embarrassing when I read it. And also, it is even embarrassing watching the movie, but it doesn't come across in the way where I think they intentionally make it look embarrassing. But it also looks so fake. It's like, we won't get into the details of sex in this video. But yeah, the movie I clearly liked a lot less than the book. I think it does not understand the book at all, which I know that it's probably not a very unpopular opinion, I think that's how lots of people feel. Number 25, the halftime show from the Super Bowl. I thought it picked up pace a lot towards the end, but I thought, especially the beginning, it was very like, oh, that's it. But then towards the end, it kind of got a little hype. It was going a little crazy at the end, but it was, I thought it was an okay halftime show to not great halftime show, I guess. Now, number 24, 500 Days of Summer. Watched this with my girlfriend on Valentine's Day. That's fun. It's good. I know my friend likes this. You've seen it from other videos, Ethan. He fucking loves this movie. Now, I don't know if I'm on that. I don't know if I go that far. Like, it's an enjoyable movie to watch, but it just, I don't know if it's my shit. You know, like, that shit didn't hit me that hard, you know? Now, number 23, Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, I think, is actually overhated. I know you might be thinking there's 22 things above this, but I like 500 Days of Summer. I think it's good. I just don't care too much about it. It's, you know, like we've already entered good territory. Basically, after the halftime show, we entered good territory. Iron Man 2, I think it's good. Do I think it's as good as the first one? Do I think it's good as the third one? No. I think it's very fun, though, and I do think it's very engaging, and I do wish, though, because I know there's a lot of problems with it, and I know that they wanted to go harder into him dealing with alcoholism and stuff like that, and I wish all that did happen, but as the movie is itself, I enjoy it. I just think it's fun to watch. So, yeah, I think that movie's just very fun. Number 22, the Runaway film, the Kanye West Runaway film. I watched that for the first time because I forget how I got to that, to be honest. But me and my friend watched that. I never watched it before. I like it. I think it's, maybe I just understand, maybe it actually does have a little bit of thing, but it did feel a little bit just kind of like there wasn't actually a lot. Like, it felt like it was trying, to me at least, it felt like it was trying to say a lot, but I don't think it really was saying much at all. Like, I don't think that there was actually much, a very interesting story going on there, but I thought the presentation of that story was very interesting. I just think the story was really kind of just like, it felt like they had a bunch of moments they wanted to have that they tried to connect them as much as possible, which is fine. I think that's fine, especially for what it is. I think it's perfectly fine. That's just what holds it back for me from being like, holy shit, this is amazing. I think that's what holds it back for me. And number 21, I listened to Zach Bryan by Zach Bryan. I liked this album. I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was pretty good. It felt very heartfelt. I liked the Zach Bryan album. You know, I was intrigued by listening to the Zach Bryan album because I'm like, I feel like I don't give like country music enough of a shot. I don't listen to enough, and I was like, I'm very intrigued by the Zach Bryan album. I've heard very good things about it. So I listened to the Zach Bryan album. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I would listen to it again. Number 20, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl this year, I was very excited for. I had the Super Bowl party that I was at, I think, made it more fun. Like, there was people who I did fantasy football with, kind of just joking lots of the time. We were just talking and making out jokes. It was fun. And I had good snacks, so that was sick. The actual Super Bowl was a little like, really? This is the outcome? It was like the most boring outcome. I mean, it was cool that it went to overtime and shit like that, but it didn't even really feel like the Chiefs had a chance of losing, I guess. It just felt like they were going to win. And do I think it's rigged? No. But, because I know everyone thinks everything is rigged. But I don't think it's actually rigged. I just think it's impossible to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. It's like next to impossible. I don't know. Him and Travis Kelce just can't lose in the playoffs. And it's a little annoying because, like, you guys already got your shit. And there's so many other people who I would love to get their shit, especially because football careers don't last very long. I think it'd be cool just to see other people get Super Bowls. But I don't know. I don't hate the Chiefs. I just think they're the boring victory because it just kind of felt like they won because they had Patrick Mahomes. And that's kind of boring. They have Patrick Mahomes and they have a good defense now. But I just think I would like to see a little more. I don't know. Like, it didn't feel like they had to be that smart. And that sucks for me. So that's why it's a little. But the experience of watching was fun. Number 19, The Last of Us Part 2, like, remaster thing. It is strange that there's a remaster this early into it. But I did play a lot of the little roguelike mode, the no return thing. And that was a lot of fun, to be honest. And all the little secret levels. The director's commentary has been fun. I've gone through a little bit of the game with the director's commentary. So it's fun. I mean, I love this game. The Last of Us Part 2, I fucking love. I think it's so good. It's one of my favorite video games ever. And it was a fun reason to come back to the game. So I enjoyed it. And it only cost me like 15 Canadian dollars to get this. So really not that horrible. I thought it was, I played a lot of the roguelike mode, to be honest. I played a lot of it, so it's been a lot of fun. Number 18, Drop 7 by Little Simz. I really like this, to be honest. I haven't really paid too much attention to what the general consensus is from Little Simz fans, because I wouldn't consider myself a Little Simz fan. I feel like I haven't given her the time of day to call myself a Little Simz fan. I'm a Little Simz appreciator, but it feels like from a distance. Like, I don't listen to much Little Simz, and I have not listened to a lot of Little Simz, but I appreciate Little Simz. You know, like, I follow Little Simz on Instagram, but have I listened to a lot of Little Simz? No, not really. But I will be listening to whatever Little Simz drops next. The album, whatever it is, I'm going to listen to for sure, because I need to get into Little Simz more. And so I listened to this project. I really like this project, and I have a feeling I might like it more than other people. I thought it was very fun, and I thought it was very cool to see Little Simz doing that stuff. Number 17, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, or whatever it is. Me and my friend, we realized he didn't really watch the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, or at least didn't remember. And I love these movies. So Pirates of the Caribbean, Black Pearl went crazy, to be honest. It goes crazy. Like, now we're getting to shit that I'm like, this shit's good. Like, this shit's real good. I really like this movie, but it's not my favorite Pirates of the Caribbean movie. We'll get to that later, because we watched another one. Number 16, Some Rap Songs by Earl Sweatshirt. Now, this one, I think I might get in a little hot water for having it so low. All you Earl heads, or sweat heads, I like this album, but I didn't listen to it in the right conditions. I listened to it while I was walking outside in the rain. While cars were passing me, it was loud. I didn't pick up on everything he was saying, so I just think that this could be a lot higher, and I think it will be a lot higher, like, in terms of how much I like it, the more I listen to it. But I just think that I didn't get enough time to understand it, so I will be revisiting it for sure, but that's why it's this low. Number 15, Dune Part 1, Timothée Chalamet's done it again. This movie's good. I like this movie. This is my second time watching. I watched it when it first came out in theaters. In theaters, it hits way harder. But I watched it with my girlfriend because we were gonna watch the second one. So she hadn't seen the first one, so we watched the first one. And I liked the first one, but I do feel like, especially from a place of not understanding Dune, going into it, I think it's a little hard to watch sometimes. But it would be very hard for me to say that I don't like it. Like, I very much liked watching it, to the point where I was like, once part 2 comes out, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, it's gonna go crazy. And I did squeak part 2 into this because I saw it on Thursday, which was March 29th. I saw it on Leap Day. It was in theaters. Some showings were there Thursday night, so it snuck into the February ranking. So we'll be there once we get to it. Number 14, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. This is my favorite Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I don't really know what the popular consensus is on Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know. I always thought that this one was the one people loved the most, but I remember I was on Letterboxd and I was like, oh, this one has significantly lower average rating than other Pirates of the Caribbean. Then I think it was Black Pearl that I saw had a higher rating than this. I just thought it was interesting. I think that this one goes so crazy. It's one of my favorite, like, blockbuster movies. It's so good. I just think it's so entertaining, so fun. Number 13, I took an Uber and spilled my life story. I was taking an Uber over to my friend's house. Well, I was taking a little Uber. You know how it is. And I had this Uber driver. I don't remember what his name is anymore. I have a screenshot on my phone of his name because I had to remember him. But he was amazing. And me and him talked the whole drive, and I feel like I learned so much about him, and he learned so much about me, and we just told each other so much in such a short little time. And it was really a special moment, to be honest. I left that vehicle being like, I think I love that man. And so if you're out here, shout out to you. I hope you're seeing this. I don't know how you'd see this, but I hope you are. Number 12, Absolutely by Dijon. Shout out to Dijon. I was listening to this album today as well. I really like this album. I will revisit it quite a bit. There's some songs I'll listen to over and over again. I really like it. I'm excited to see what Dijon does next. I'm just very excited about it. I think it's very good. I love how raw it feels. I love how live it feels lots of times. I think some of the drums sound crazy. I love how much distortion there is sometimes. I think it's great, and I'm very excited to see what else he does. So, number 11, Bottoms. This shit went crazy. This shit's hilarious. I'm so glad I watched this. Everyone needs to watch this. It's just gay Superbad. What more could I ask for? If there was one problem with Superbad, it was that it was not gay enough. Finally, the people have received what they needed, which is gay Superbad. Shout out Rachel Sennett. Shout out Ayo Edebari. Shout out Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch is great in this movie. He's hilarious. I think he's one of my favorite parts. I love him just being like, I love him just kind of just like he kind of becomes a feminist feminist for a while, but then everything like falls apart, and he's like, yeah, I knew I should never like been on the side of women. He like instantly, just because two characters do something, he's like, I hate feminism now. It's so funny to me. I thought it was hilarious. That Martial Lynch was hilarious in that movie. Number 10, I went to the casino with two of my friends. This was my first time going to the casinos. Me and my one friend Ethan's first time going to the casino, and with our other friend. And Ethan's the one from the videos. And me and him had never been to a casino before. And our friend takes us there. And, you know, I was losing horribly. I was awful. Also, before we get into this too much, don't gamble. It's stupid. I only went because I wanted to see what it was like, because I haven't done it before. But I will not be going back unless it's not something I'm going to be doing. You know, don't do it. Don't waste your money. It's pointless. But however, this story, before we get to the story, definitely don't do it, because this story is not going to sway you to not do it. But we went, and me and my friend, I was losing a lot of money. I lost a lot of money very fast. And my friend who had been there before, she lost all of her money. But Ethan was doing well. And then also went to the same machine. And then Ethan hits the jackpot. Then I also win a lot. I'm talking tripling the amount of money I showed up with. And then we just kind of left. We were just like, okay, sounds good. And then we were just kind of done. It was crazy. It was like, we went in there perfectly planning to lose all of our money, because that's just how casinos are. And then we just had the most insane luck of all time. And I'm happy to end my gambling career there. Sounds good to me. We won. I'm good. I got everything I need. Take that, casinos. I'm on you. I'm on your ass. And number 9, 2093 by Yeat. This album's great. Shout out to Yeat. Yeat's killing it. This is just like Eastern European Playboy Cardi, and that's all I could ever ask for. Oh my god, it goes crazy. This album especially is so good. Like, it's crazy how good it is. I've liked some Yeat stuff before, but it has felt like it feels very drawn out when I'm listening to it. Like, there's not, whenever I would like a Yeat song, I would like it for a certain amount of time, but never really want to listen to the whole thing. This album is not the same. This album I could listen to as a whole again. Like, it just, the arrangement is so much more interesting. It trims the fat more. It's just so much better. It's so well produced. Like, this shit's good. I recommend listening to this. Number 8, The Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails. We recorded a video for this. That video has not come out yet, so I'll not give too many thoughts on this, but me and my friend Ethan, we recorded a video listening to this because I'd shown him a song or two from this, and he really liked that. I'd listened to it once before, but I haven't listened to it in a while, and so I was like, we should listen to it. It'd be very fun. And so we did that. We recorded a video, and that video will be out on March 8th, which is I think it's the 40th anniversary, or would it be 30th anniversary? The 30th anniversary of The Downward Spiral. So yeah, the video will be out then. All my thoughts will be in there. You can find a lot more thoughts in there. Number 7, watch The Last of Us Season 1 with my girlfriend. I'm a huge The Last of Us fan, and so it was fun showing her the first season, because I always am talking about The Last of Us. I talk about it a lot. I think it's great. And so it was fun watching the show with her. She really liked it. It was fun revisiting it. I think it's an amazing adaptation. It's very impressive. I think it's so good. Number 6, I rewatched Beau is Afraid. This movie is so good. This movie was my favorite movie last year. Now, rewatching it doesn't work as much when you rewatch it. It very much works perfectly in a first watch, and that first watch is so good that I do not care how much less tense it feels the second time I watch it. Like, it just, the thing is it just was so shocking the first time I watched it. It kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time. But once I know what's happening, it's very hard to relive that experience necessarily, because I know where it goes. And so it's not as enjoyable in the second watch, but I still did like the movie. I like the movie. I love the movie. But it's very much a movie that's not super replayable. But I recommend every person in the world watches it, to be honest. I think it's genius. Now, number 5, Oppenheimer. Last year, I liked Beau is Afraid more than Oppenheimer. Rewatch, though, Oppenheimer works way more on a rewatch. It's way more rewatchable. I had a blast rewatching it. And it's like a 3-hour movie. Like, it's a thick-ass movie with a lot of talking. And I loved rewatching it. I feel like I understood a lot more stuff that was going on. And I just thought it was so good. I think Oppenheimer is easily Christopher Nolan's best movie by a long shot. I think it's everything that's good but Christopher Nolan turned up to 1,000,000. It's so good. And so yeah, Oppenheimer's great. Shout out Oppenheimer. Number 4, Watchmen, the book. I love this book. I think it's so good. I think especially all the Dr. Manhattan stuff, obviously. amazing. I think this book's so cool. It tells such a good story, tells in such an interesting way. The writing is so good, so interesting. Some of the best writing I've ever read. And I would recommend anyone, no matter whether or not you care about comics, whether or not you don't, go read this Anarchist Wizards book, please. It's so good. Shout out to Anarchists, shout out to Wizards, and shout out to Alan Moore for being Beau. Number 3, Dune Part 2. This movie was insane. This movie was so good. This movie was incredible. Like, as a movie theater experience, this shit's crazy. I think that it is so interesting. Now that I've watched it, I'm trying to learn so much more about Dune, I want to learn about the differences between the book and this. Like, I kind of want to read the books. Like, Dune Part 1 made me very intrigued by Dune. Made me very intrigued. Dune Part 2 made me like, I'm not just intrigued, like, I need to know more. Like, I'm desperate to know more. I think it's so good. It's insanely good. And just such an impressive movie on, like, every front. I think the acting's great. I think Timothée Chalamet kills it. I think he kills it. I think his journey in the movie is so good, and he does it so well, and the direction's great. The movie looks great. The movie sounds great. There's not much more I could ever ask for from, like, a blockbuster. Like, it is the ideal blockbuster, to be honest. It's so good. Definitely recommend watching it. Everyone should go watch it. Number 2, Daredevil Season 1. I'm a huge Daredevil fan. I was a huge Daredevil fan as a kid, so much so that I loved the Ben Affleck movie. I was obsessed with the Ben Affleck movie. That's crazy. That just sounds like mental illness. And maybe it was. But I loved Daredevil. I can't even really describe to you why as a kid I loved Daredevil. Because I don't know if Daredevil's necessarily a kid superhero. Lots of his stories are not very kid friendly. But Daredevil was just like, I was just obsessed with him. And when this season 1 first came out, I remember watching it and I loved that shit. I remember the trailers came out and I was very excited that they were making a Daredevil thing. But I remember when the trailers came out, I thought it was not gonna be very good. And then when I first watched it, I was like, holy shit, it's amazing. And then I was hooked and I loved every season of it. But me and my girlfriend watched season 1 again, and it's still so good. I was so entranced rewatching. It's so rewatchable. It's crazy. It's so good. It's like, I don't know, it's just incredible. Number 1, drumroll, it's Scrapyard by Quadeca. Is it shocking the new Quadeca mixtape thing is number 1? No, I've already released 2 YouTube videos on it in the month of February. So, like, half the videos I've released on this channel so far are Quadeca videos. I mean, that's only 2 or 4, but that's substantial. I think this sounds amazing. Obviously, I was pretty confident it would be number 1 on this list. Do I necessarily think that it's going to be number 1 on this list in like 5 years from now? Probably not. I think it's just that it came out this month that it's number 1 for me. But some of the stuff below it, like, has lasted with me for a long time. So, you know, it's hard for us to tell and how it will last with me. Like, oh shit, how the fuck did I do that? It's hard to know how it will last with me for like the rest of my life. But for as of right now, I think it's incredible. I think everyone should be keeping up with what Quadeca's doing. I think it's very impressive. I've liked Quadeca for a while, but it's been very interesting because I feel like I've liked Quadeca and then I've gotten older and not liked it, and then he does something new and I'm like, oh, I like this, and then I grow out of that and I don't like it, and then he does something new again and then I really like that, and now it's at the point where it's like, okay, I think he's just cooking, and I think it will last forever. I think it will be amazing. It's so good, so cool. Listen to the song Being Yourself. There's one thing you can do, listen to that song, please. It's so good. I've been obsessed with since he put it on SoundCloud. I've been obsessed. Please listen to that song. But yes, that is the month of February. I am very tired and exhausted from doing this video, but it was worth it. The month of February was crazy. It was a very fun month, to be honest. Very crazy month. There probably is even stuff. There's tons of stuff that I even probably forgot off this list, and that I'm sure some people in my life will remind me. They're like, what about this? What about this? And I'm like, oh shit, I should have added it. But I did so much this month. It was crazy. I don't know why. I don't know how. But I did. And it was fun. And I'm excited to see what happens in March. You know, I'm loving making these videos. I hope people are enjoying these videos. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. And let me know if there's anything. Just let me know how you're feeling about the videos I'm making. I would love to hear people's feedback on how these videos are, because I wanted to make videos for a long time and I just could never really figure out exactly what I wanted to do in these videos and what I wanted to be like. And now I think I've got a good handle on it. I'm really enjoying it. So thanks for joining me. It's been fun. Happy March. Let's hope the month is fun and hopefully no bad shit happens. That sounds good to me. So yeah, thanks for joining me. And I'll see you later. Boom. See ya.